Hello, everyone. This is the Tyrant Training Show. It's me, Kevin Ryan, as the host, and this improv comedy podcast is a power fantasy for guests where they come on and chat to me about how they would rule their own fictional country as a malevolent or benevolent tyrant. This week, I need to ask how to properly introduce my guest because they may be maniacal. This is a fellow podcaster of the Telling Tinder Tales podcast. Chris, how should I announce you when when you walk into a room or onto a podcast?
I probably start with all-knowing.
All-knowing.
I think all-knowing, and broadly benevolent. Broadly benevolent, with touches of
Pettiness?
vicious pettiness, and some deep, long-held grudges. In my view, very well-founded grudges.
Right.
Almost always about something serious, but sometimes about something extraordinarily trivial.
Okay.
So that, I think, that's an element of my personality. Yes, and
One element.
well dressed with
Right.
with a man who likes a good shirt and has a set of fedoras.
A set of them. How many? Do you actually have fedoras?
I do. I have
Ah.
5 fedoras and 4 variously colored straw hats.
Oh, you're a hat man.
I am a hat man. I am indeed a hat man.
You're breaking out into song there, the way you said it. It was very lyrical. It was nice.
If I break out into song, people would be worried I have the voice of a dying duck.
Okay, we'll do that near the end of the podcast.
No,
Okay,
we will not. I'm in charge here. We will not be doing that.
Absolutely fair. I apologize. I should introduce Chris O'Neill, who is the podcaster or a co-host of the Telling Tinder Tales podcast, which actually, do you want to explain what the Telling Tinder Tales podcast is as well?
Well, Telling Tinder Tales is a podcast based on a live show. We've been doing a live show in Edinburgh for a number of years. And basically, at the live show, people turn up, walk on stage and tell true stories about their dating and relationships. And then someone at the show said to me, this should be a podcast. So About a year later, I met Lucy, who's our producer, over breakfast in Edinburgh, and we got chatting, and about 6 months later, it started. So basically, we're coming toward. We started on the 14th of February, 2025, so we're heading up on our first anniversary, and it's basically people talking about their relationships.
Lovely. I've also realised that Telling Tinder Tales is also on Tyrant and Training now. There's a lot of T's.
Yes.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's all about spilling tea. Yes, so I should mention that Chris O'Neill is also I forget, you're viciously petty, you're all-knowing.
Yes.
Often
I'm a bearer of grudges. Some substantial, some trivial.
Yeah, you don't discriminate between trivial and...
Well, I do. And I generally, most of the time, the grudges are substantial, well-founded, but occasionally they can be trivial.
Have you ever had a point in your life where you didn't have a grudge against someone or something?
No, because I keep them. I harbor them. I take the long view on grudges. I may have a grudge against somebody and I will just wait until the opportunity arises. I don't tend to be someone who you would necessarily know I had a grudge.
Oh, yeah, love it. Yeah.
I will wait. And I particularly savor the idea of getting even with someone without that person knowing they have in fact been in any way done down. I'm wondering why things are just not working for them.
Right, so you're into like black magic and voodoo and stuff. That'd be your sort of thing.
No, just like, if somebody asks me an opinion of somebody, I will give them the truth. So I know a lot of people, and if somebody has run across me at some stage in the past, I will quietly stick a knife into their back. I wouldn't really be a big fan of facing on to.
No, it's dangerous for you. You clearly stab someone in the back.
But the other thing is, when you do that, you can enjoy they're puzzled misery. Where, whereas if somebody knows they have been victimized, they can have a sense of grievance and they can possibly get over that. But confusion and puzzlement, much harder to deal with.
You know, if I sat here with a very serious expression, the tone of your voice sounds like a scholar who has really thought about this.
I have thought about it.
No, I think it's fantastic.
I think about nearly everything to a worrying degree. That's the feature of my life, is that I do actually consider things in detail. Often I will have an idea for something, and it could be 2 years before I will do it. I will mull it and consider it and look at it and see what problems might arise and reconsider it and talk it through with someone of my subjects and that sort of thing.
Right, this is going to be a fast-paced improv comedy podcast. I will get into the podcast, but I do have a question since you brought up holding grudges. Are you in any way like me where it's nice to have a grudge against someone who you know in your heart and soul probably doesn't deserve that grudge or that dislike? Mine is a celebrity now, just someone who you're like, I'm sure, I imagine they're probably a lovely person, but I hate them. Mine is Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. No, for me. My grudges are almost always people I know.
Really?
People I know. I am largely indifferent to other celebrities. You know, they don't impinge on me. No, my grudges are against people who've done me, in my view, wrong.
Right.
And I will just wait.
Well, what I do before I jump into this, I will say as well that
a phrase I use is about somebody. They're the sort of person who, if they were about to be struck by a bus,
yes,
I would try to distract them so they wouldn't spot it.
Oh, you don't want them to even know they've been hit by the bus. They to end it.
Yeah, I want them to. Yeah, I don't. And sometimes people would say, you mind somebody or you protect them. No. On the contrary, I try and distract somebody as the vehicle was hurtling toward them in the circumstance where they might unfortunately realize they were in danger.
Oh, God. Okay. I will actually point out this is a light entertainment podcast. Just for anyone listening.
Is it really? Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no. Families gather around.
I understood it was a light vehicle related.
I suggest people when they've lost a loved one to listen to this podcast. It's to just cheer them up.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask you. I've taken some quotes from the interview you just did. I would like to ask you, what sort of frame of mind were you in when you said these quotes that I'm going to play right now?
They constantly talk about tennis. They won't shut up about tennis. They're obsessed with tennis. And they watch in the hopes that somebody's going to absolutely die, right? Because that's the real fun. If somebody turns up with laces, we just take the shoes off and send them for a 10-mile run.
So, yeah, what were you thinking?
Well, I was in my normal state of quiet ecstasy, really,
right?
Because I'm normally a happy person, and I'm almost listened to have. It's always useful for me as a tyrant to have somebody listening and adoring me. So that's why, really, I made those statements.
And you stand by them?
Yes. Until I choose to deny them. So, I mean, that's one of the great virtues of being an effective tyrant is the capacity to be hypocritical.
Yes.
I mean, we see it already with one of the other tyrants currently operating in a very perfunctory and dishonest way, of course, but then that's the way we do it. Mr. Trump, I mean, the ability to say one thing now and within moments to say something directly contradictory and expect everybody to attend and obey.
And that's what you intend for your island, right? You want that. You want some of that.
Surely that's the definition of a tyrant.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, you have total
the ability to say it's daylight when it's dark and be, attended to. Well, I
Okay.
like the story. I like the story of the little boy who said the king had not no clothes. You know, he was naked, right? Remember the story of the child who called out the king has got no clothes after the king had been in the myth lied to by fraudsters, right? The bit I like about that story is that, and it's not well known, that after the child revealed the fact that the king was in fact naked and was wearing no clothes, the child was taken away and killed.
But wait,
Are you not familiar with
I
the
am
myth
not
and story?
familiar with that story.
There's
Sorry,
a story about,
there was a child who said there's a king
no,
naked.
No, it is a story. It is a story.
Okay.
It's a myth or fairy tale. These two people turned up at the king's palace and said that they could weave a glorious and colourful coat for the king.
Okay.
And then they were given gold.
Yeah.
They were given gold, and they claimed, and of course the king, they told the king how glorious and beautiful it was, and the king
made him
said how it didn't exist. It was entirely non-existent. It did not exist. But the king said, "Oh yes, it's glorious," and all his courtiers said, "Oh yes, it's glorious," and they all described it, right? And then everybody described it. And the king went for a walk in the public, a parade, to show off his beautiful clothing,
right?
And everybody was saying "ooh" and "ah," and then the small child said, "But the king has got no clothes." You have to look this myth up.
I know there's several plot holes in this. Hold on. So they made a robe for him, right?
They didn't make anything. That was
but they claimed they were going to make a robe for him.
They claimed to be.
Yeah.
And the king...
But why did the king take off all his clothes just to put a robe on?
Well, the argument was that it could only be only seen by the most intelligent of people. You see.
Right, but I mean...
deception.
If I gave you a robe, would you take off all your clothes? And
there was no robe. There was no robe.
But if they made the robe... You'd still wear a shirt underneath.
But he thought he was wearing garment.
He's an odd king anyway. But he did kill
the
child.
Very odd king.
Yeah.
He did kill the child. Yeah, that's the whole... That's the upside of the story.
Yeah, so that was the moral of the story. Don't let children see. Okay, we better get into this. This could be an absolute disaster. All right, Chris, I'm excited.
You can edit all this.
There'll be no editing. What we have to do, we have to set up your island, because we don't take over a country when we give a tyrant on this show a island to rule, right? We set up an island, fictional country. So I'm going to show you a map of the world, and you can tell me where you want your new country. Okay? So how are you at geography?
I can tell you where I want the island, right? I want it off the coast of Dublin.
Oh, really? I'm going to show you. Just give you an idea of where other tyrants... I don't have every single one of them. It's only kind of a recent development.
Yeah.
But here, all those little dots are where people are interested. Ireland is a popular spot.
Off the coast of Ireland, right? Because off the coast of Dublin in particular, because, of course, it has the best weather in the world.
Does it? You and now I fully believe that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it does. It does. It's one of the few places in the world where the weather never kills you.
Norway,
you stay out at night in Norway in November, you'll freeze to death.
Will you do that in Dublin? No?
No, you won't. No.
Dublin is colder.
No, Norway is much colder than
Have you been to Norway?
No, but I can tell it's a good bit further north.
I know, you would think that, but here's the thing. I've been there. It's drier up there, Chris. Right?
I fully accept that you will go mouldy in Ireland.
Right, pure mouldy.
You're mouldy, but you won't die. It's almost... weather almost never kills you. Take any reasonable precaution and the weather won't kill you in Ireland unless, God forbid, a tree falls on you. But otherwise, you'll be fine. Whereas Ireland, best weather in the world.
Tyrant Chris walks down the street.
In particular, the east coast of Ireland, best weather in the world.
Tyrant Chris walks down the street saying, "Hello, everyone," and there's a child saying, "They're all dead, Tyrant Chris."
Yeah, that's unlikely. I would have... The child would have been inculcated with obedience to me at a school level. Like, with all good tyrants, my image would be in all the schools, and my near godlike status would be inculcated into the child. I mean, you have to admire the efficiency of North Korea in this context, who are modeling, I think, elements of behavior that any proper tyrant would indulge in.
Yeah, they're doing it right. They're doing what they should be doing.
They do the divide and conquer thing as well, where a small number of people are at the top of the pile and an increasingly large number of people are at the bottom of the pile. And generation to generation are marked as being inferior. That's what you have to do.
I fear that, or I respect, whichever one, that you are going to look to North Korea for a lot of your inspiration then.
I'm quite a diverse tyrant. I mean, I look, for instance, the North Koreans, but in fairness, for example, the British royal family are also very effective tyrants that they have accumulated enormous amounts of money and wealth and power and prestige without recent mass slaughters.
Yeah.
Now, they have in the past been involved in mass slaughter, obviously, as any well-respected, tyrannical dynasty will have to have been. But in general terms, currently, the British royal family, not viewed, with one or two exceptions, not viewed as a threat to the public.
No. Light entertainment. I'm going to put down your island here in this little dot.
Fine. Excellent.
Right? Just a short distance from Dublin. Yes. In between Dublin and
Anglesey,
Liverpool,
yes.
basically, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes.
Or Holyhead.
Very good.
I have to ask you, what do you have any idea what name you're going to give your island?
I'm not sure about that. I suppose my surname is O'Neill, so we have a tradition going back to being the first people to have claimed the north of Ireland. Hence the red hand. As we cheated, we were such greedy individuals that we ran up the beach, and the other guy was in front of us. We chopped one of the Nile of the 9 hostages, chopped his hand off and threw it up the beach to grab the beach before his competitor.
Commitment. Yeah,
that's commitment.
Yeah.
So I suppose. Red Bloody Island would probably be a good name.
Does that roll off the tongue or roll off the wrist?
Well, yeah, and it also gives off a sufficient level of threat, I think.
Red Bloody Island. Okay.
Red Bloody Island.
Do you need? Yes. Okay, yeah. You don't want just Bloody Island, no? Or that sounds like they're giving out about it.
And also, I'm sure there is a Bloody Island somewhere, inevitably, but I don't think there's a Red Bloody Island. And I like the idea of the reference to the red hand. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can do Bloody Island. My God, there is a Bloody Island in the world. Yeah.
Of course there is.
Yeah, by Mississippi. That's
probably right.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere, yeah.
So, okay, Red Bloody Island. I have to ask you as well, what is your official title? What are people meant to call you or refer to you as?
I think Sir will do fine. Sir. Nothing
Chris?
Outrageous. Sir. Just Sir. Oh, no. Nobody gets to use my name. Just Sir.
Right. What if they do say Sir Chris?
Well, that would be the last thing they say.
Because of debt or because just
I might expel them, or I don't know really, but yeah, possibly death. Must be death. I mean, you have to be clear on these things,
right?
Maybe not. Maybe a large fine and their family being moved down the pecking order, something like that.
Oh, okay. So if there's any homeless person though, they can't get any lower. Like they can't go down.
I wouldn't really expect to be addressed at all by a homeless person.
If they said hello, sir.
Well, they wouldn't. They just wouldn't. I wouldn't expect them to be getting close enough to make any remarks to me.
That leads me to your next question. Are you a man of the people? Are you going to walk around? Are you?
I will be a man of some of the people.
The rich people.
Yeah, the rich and powerful.
Yeah, naturally.
Yes, it's a much more salubrious and comfortable situation to find oneself in.
What type of house do you want to live in?
Well, I'd like to maintain the illusion, I make clear illusion, of being sort of caring and considerate. So a very well-constructed, environmentally stable, A-rated building of substance, but not enormous size.
Not
And
mansion, not
well,
Mar-a-Lago Winter White House.
no, oh no, nothing like that. No, just no, a substantial home with a good high wall and good security.
When you say good security, you want an army on those walls. You want guns.
I want cameras and monitoring, and
Are the cameras watching you? Or no, they're watching outside.
No, they're watching the potential for anyone to enter or gain access to the premises, yes.
Right. Okay. So nobody's gaining premises unless, I presume there's some system to allow some people.
Oh, well, we have to have some control system. I mean, the most basic of regimes have access control in place, yes.
And I should ask this question then. When it comes to your people, when it comes to running the everyday admin of the government, right? I'll give you two choices. Would you allow your citizens to vote for 100 senators? There'll be a Senate. They do the everyday boring stuff. You have ultimate say. Or would you say, look, there's no voting whatsoever. I will have 10 people or however many you want as an inner circle. You'll pick them. Either way, your citizens are happy with this decision. But voting or no voting?
I think there's a merit to allowing people the illusion of participation.
Right.
Obviously, they don't get to decide, but the illusion, or actually as well, there are some things that, frankly, I wouldn't be interested in, right? You don't have to, nobody wants to run every last thing. So, I think the notion of the 100 people, I personally think it'd be better rather than, possibly have 50 of the people elected and 50 picked entirely randomly to serve for a 5-year period. So they would, reasonably accurately represent the views of the public, because you can only go so far as a dictator without bringing the people along with you. So, I think that's something like that. A compromise situation of 50-50, but retaining, of course, the right of veto.
Oh, you decide.
Yes.
Yeah. No matter what, like if they can make all the plans and laws they want in the world. If you walk in and say that's not happening, it's not happening. They know that.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
So if those 50 people, like if they were the ones who were voted or who were picked at random, if 34 of them were under the age of 7, are you okay with that? No.
I think you'd have to be 16 and over.
16 and over. So if there's 34 98-year-olds who are under,
there won't be. No, there won't be. Well, I mean, if the thing is done properly, it'll be random. If it's random, it's random. The odds of having more than, the idea is it'll be broadly representative.
Okay. But on the off chance that you're going to have a lot of people over the age of 90 who are on their way out.
I'm not sure I want to run a country that has a significant population over 90.
Okay,
they are drained.
They're not.
Yeah, I think there's a sort of running down process to be deployed in terms of medical care for people from their, say, mid-80s on.
Could I suggest, because again, apart from being a host, I am an advisor in some parts to this show. Could I suggest, if you wanted to figure out who to get, you don't want to get rid of every person who gets old. That's a natural part of life. But maybe if you get over 90, you have to swim over to either Holyhead or Dublin. And if you make that, then you can come back. No?
Yeah, nobody's going to make that even now. You're not going to make that. If you're proposing that idea, I think we'd have to see you deploy the system first and see how it worked. Failed, of course. Exactly. So, I'd really prefer it if you were to make serious suggestions here, Kevin.
Oh, God.
I'm not interested in, trivialized, preposterous ideas.
Oh, right. I'm just spitballing.
I appreciate that. I appreciate but you just need to realize the inadequacy of your suggestion.
It's fair enough, sir. I also have to reiterate, I'm a voice in your head. You can't have me killed on your island. There's no way I can be booted off my own podcast. I should also state. I should also state that I always give a round number. It didn't mean anything anytime I said this number to people about how many citizens are on their island. Only after maybe 50 episodes did people start having an issue with it. It doesn't matter. And by the way, the amount of citizens, it doesn't matter how many are on it. It is 10 million people are going to be on your island. Is that too many? Or
that's a pretty good number. Yeah, there's going to have to be a big fishing industry to feed them. But yes, I mean, 10 million's a nice number. It's a large enough number to be useful and relevant.
And you have plenty of room.
And it's administrative. It's administratively viable. I'm actually not keen on large countries, to be honest. Large countries are difficult to run. They get complex. You see the more successful countries, they are actually countries that are between 5 and 10, 12 million. Very few really successful countries have 100 million people, because just dealing with anything becomes very difficult.
Yeah. Okay, so we were going to say you have 10 million people. You don't have to worry about the space on the island and all that. This isn't real. So, okay, what I have to ask you is just a few questions about this country of Red Bloody Island. First of all, what seemingly mundane or everyday item or pet peeve is banned on Red Bloody Island?
What is banned? Shoes with laces are banned.
Oh.
All shoes have to be Velcro closing.
So in real life, you're not a fan of the laces, no?
No, this is just a random and baseless rule in order to prove my power.
Oh, so you just want to prove that you're powerful by saying,
yeah,
okay,
just that. There's no basis in it. There's no reason for it.
Do you wear shoes with laces?
Yes, currently. I haven't moved to the island yet. So
no, but if you're on the island, are you still going to?
I may well decide to have laces, yes.
And tough shit to anyone who... Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. But nobody else is allowed to wear. Everybody has to wear Velcro clothing or buckle clothing shoes.
Okay.
Footwear.
Yeah.
For no other reason than to demonstrate my power.
Do you tell people that, or do you give them some sort of bullshit like security concern reason?
No, I just tell them.
Just tell them what it is. Okay, yeah.
They don't need why. I'm sorry. I'm a bit confused here. Why, as Tyrant, would they explain anything? It just is the rule. It's just a demonstration of my power.
Okay, and you're not worried about the rumors of a black market of laces being shipped into the country from Dublin?
Well, I mean, if somebody turns up with laces, we just take the shoes off and send them for a 10-mile run.
Yeah, but they're saying that... Oh, okay.
Well, where are they going to wear them? Are they going to be secret lace-wearing festival and shoes? Yeah.
Underground clubs.
I don't think so. I mean, being found in possession of a pair of laces, serious offence.
Right. And when you say serious, is that debt or is it just a fine?
I think possibly, not being allowed to wear your right shoe for 3 months.
Right. Okay. Right.
Just one shoe now.
Just one shoe.
So it would then be obvious to people in public what your social stigma was. The social stigma. Also, the sheer discomfort of walking unevenly for a prolonged period of time. That would be, I think, a sufficient disincentive.
And all that work is just for you to prove that you're the ruler, even though the mere fact that nobody says
correct.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Just make sure.
If you're going to prove your power, it's easier to prove it with a sort of trivial, baseless, but really quite inconsequential rule, rather than a rule that might have some serious consequences.
That could actually affect people. Okay.
Or that could, if the breach of which could have consequences in real terms.
Okay, I have another question about Red Bloody Island. It obviously has the best security, best fishing ports in the world, best education, medicine, stuff like that. But what unusual list is Red Bloody Island top of in the world?
It's probably the one place in the world with the most electric tricycles.
Oh, like kids tricycles or
No, adult tricycles.
Ah.
Adult tricycles would be the norm because, I mean, we don't want the use of cars any more than we have to. And then tricycles are quite useful for transporting all the way into old age and small children, etc.
Very good.
So it's convenient. It's environmental, it's economical, and it's a bit quirky. We get tourists coming to see the operation. It's quite an interesting and varied, and also they're stable in a way that electric bicycles. I mean, there have been incredible rises in the levels of fatalities among electric bike cyclists in Holland, for example. Huge numbers of people are dying because they're on electric bicycles. It wouldn't be happening if tricycles are inherently stable and therefore less likely to lead. Yeah, but there was 100 and something people died last year in Holland for having got drunk on electric bicycles.
You weren't. Oh yeah. Like they were drinking alcohol and then they jumped on.
Yeah.
And
the power of the bicycle is such.
Just took off.
Whereas if you, and dive, and they have a lot of dikes in Holland. People fall into them and drown.
Okay, but
I don't want people. I don't want people dying for no good reason.
No. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, yeah, smart, safety, and fun as well. Tricycles.
Yes,
I have another question about Red Bloody Island to get a sense of the people there. As you know, stereotyping is wrong. The whole Irish drink and all that.
Yeah.
But for this podcast, it can be fun. So, Red Bloody Island. I'm going to ask you two questions. What's a good stereotype of the people of Red Bloody Island?
Well, they're very, very interested in and proficient at tennis.
Are you a tennis fan?
Tennis. No, I'm not, but they are. And they like tennis. In fact, it's the country in the world with the best record for winning tennis tournaments for no real reason other than that it's popular. In the same way that, for instance, badminton is incredibly popular in Bangladesh and in Pakistan for no really good reason. They're fabulous at tennis.
Chris, are you interested in any sport? I ask you, the person, not the tyrant, sir.
No, not particularly.
Okay.
Sporting, no. I mean, I'll watch football match occasionally, or some of a football match. No, not really. Am I interested? I have in the past watched the Tour de France for when I was unwell one time, but I watched a lot of it. I had the shingles, I think, and I was watching it. Yeah,
that got you over the hump.
Well, yeah, they used to have a very good commentator on Eurosport.
Yes.
Who was fascinating and talked about everything and anything except. And the thing about bicycle racing is that, in the broad terms, the day's racing lasts about 5 hours, and normally for nothing happens for the first 4 hours. Everybody's in the peloton. Now, that's not the most exciting of commentary tasks. Whereas, in fact, the guy who was commentating managed to be fascinating at great length,
despite
about nothing. So yeah, that's
me and my fiance are interested in Formula One. Got into that a few years ago, right? What I've noticed is, and I can't think of any other sport where the commentators do it quite so much, that the commentators in Formula One, they spend most of their time promising something interesting will happen instead of reacting to something. So what they do is, let's say there's 50 laps, right? And they go into the pits and they come out and they have new tires. Well, what they usually say is, so they could be on lap 10 and they'll say it's going to be interesting on lap 20 because everyone will have to come into the pits. And then lap 20 comes along and it wasn't that interesting. Everyone stayed in the same position, and they go, it's going to be interesting on lap 40 when they run out of fuel. And in lap 40, nothing happens. And then they go, we could get to the last lap and it's going to be really interesting. And then it isn't. And you're like, you didn't really big up what was happening. You were bigging up what could happen.
Well, there are two elements to this. First of all, you watch Formula One, which is an indictment.
Right. Okay, voice in your head, remember.
Because really and truly, I mean...
I don't watch it live.
Well, that's even worse. I mean,
That's just
the
fast
truth of the matter is,
cycling.
Formula One became popular because every now and again there was a crash, right?
Oh God,
That's
yeah.
why. And you know, the correct commentary is nobody has crashed yet, right? And that's
Right.
now, and it's the same way that people go to comedy gigs and they watch in the hopes that somebody's going to absolutely die, right? Because that's the real fun sometimes at a comedy gig.
Yeah.
So I think if you could guarantee that on any given race there will be a crash, audiences would go through the roof. Because that would be something. Now, you wouldn't have to know when, of course, right? The risk for people would be if there was a genuine random decision to be made as to when the crash was, it would happen early in the race, and you'd lose a large part of your audience. But as I say, I wouldn't watch Formula. If you paid me, I wouldn't watch Formula One.
It's just
it's a matter
cycling.
Of substantial mystery. I'm willing to watch. Well, yeah, I'm willing to listen to someone commentating on something not very much happening.
Right.
They're not, and I haven't done it for years. But the guy was particularly good, right? He would go off on tangents of the most incredible sort,
right?
And fascinating and weird stories with no real good reason. So it was interesting. But no, I don't think I've ever watched anything to do with Formula One.
Okay, and despite all that, you are deciding that your citizens fancy tennis, that you have no interest.
No, they're really good at tennis. They're great at tennis.
They're good at tennis. Sorry, yeah.
There's a strong cultural tradition of tennis being played. It is the national sport. Right?
Would you show up to watch the events?
Oh, I clearly would. Yes, and the annual competition would be named in my honor.
The Surrey Cup.
Yes. And it would be a substantial prize. Yes.
Lovely. I have to ask as well, though, that was a positive stereotype of the Red Blood Island citizens. What's a negative stereotype that people say, whether it's true or not, but people say this negative stereotype about your citizens?
They constantly talk about tennis. They won't shut up about tennis.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with tennis.
Are they insightful, even?
No, they're just tedious about it.
Yeah.
And they are, for no good reason, extraordinarily hostile to badminton and will randomly attack people who even mention badminton.
Physically
they even
attack.
They have been known to go around to surreptitiously go to the United Kingdom, go to badminton where the horse trials are on, and out of badness tear down fences only because the event is being held in badminton.
In badminton, God!
It's just they just have a thing. They regard badminton as an abject and inferior, half-arsed version of tennis, and they are hostile to it.
So they're tennis Nazis.
Yes.
Okay, and how do they feel about paddle? Paddle is getting popular around my part now.
Well, yeah, I think they haven't formed a view yet.
Squash.
I suspect it'll be squash. Yeah, people have been known to get very upset at the very mention of the term. Right. Orange juice, in fact, is banned simply because it's called squash. So they're just really quite emphatic that tennis is, and actually they're also in the winter they play table tennis in quite a high level.
Right.
But only in the winter. In the summer, about 10% of the entire country is given over to tennis courts.
Right, and again, you have no real interest in tennis.
Not particularly. No, I'm happy to see people happy in regard to doing something that has no real potential for political turmoil. You want people to be doing something for no reason and to be focused on it to the exclusion of anything important.
Bread and games, right? Roman Empire, bread and games. Yeah. Tennis and loafers.
Tennis and yeah.
I just want to ask, they're probably wearing bad. Maybe it's the shoes are good. I thought you'd have laces for those shoes.
I was going to say the one exception that people are allowed to wear laces is when they're playing tennis.
No wonder why.
Level.
constantly at it.
Level. Yeah.
Yeah, they want that benefit.
They're allowed because, well, just the shoes have to be tight.
They do,
so,
yeah,
they have to be tight. So, yeah. So there is a sliver of freedom there that is accorded by playing tennis.
What an unintended positive consequence of that silly rule that people got super fit because they wanted to get those tennis shoes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have to ask you something.
Well, this comes from the all-knowing beneficence that I bring to bear.
And I am
prescient in these things. When I make a rule, sometimes they have just unexpected positive outcomes.
You don't immediately see the positive outcome, but it bears fruit. Yeah. Very good, very good. I have to ask you a question, though. Every ruler deals with this at some point in time. There is a scandal about to break out involving Sir. Now, Sir has obviously a 100% approval rate. I'm sorry to tell you, your approval rating has gone down to 97%. You get to pick what the scandal is, though.
Oh.
So what would Sir be involved in?
A scandal. No, I'm not sure. I don't like this idea at all. A scandal. Perhaps there is a suggestion that a close advisor of mine has been involved in the illicit smuggling of laced shoes. Very particular, very, very high laced black boots, which would be associated with some forms of deviant sexual activity. And, one's thigh boots that lace all the way up, and these are regarded as very erotic. And
yes, absolutely.
There may be an advisor of mine that has been involved and purports to suggest that I was aware of it, or indeed that I might wear these high thigh boots. Yes.
Okay, now how would you deal with this scandal? This how you
What I would just tell but the media wouldn't be covering it. So I would just
one of the newspapers got wind of it and published it.
Well, that's why we'd close them down. That's not how it works. This notion of media freedom is a relative term, not an absolute term. So yes, there wouldn't be an issue. That wouldn't happen. And also I suppose I might introduce the notion of high thigh laced boots into the national religion, so that would be regarded as an act, high act of adoration.
So, are you wearing them?
Well, the suggestion is that I wear them because of my deviant activities, but we would have to create a religious myth around these, which means that they are an appropriate garment for a king to wear.
Okay, so now,
a king or a tyrant.
Yeah. So, and then you can start wearing them out in public. You'd be fine.
Well, I probably wouldn't wear them in public. I'd probably like to maintain a certain level of mystique and myth.
Are you going out in public often with your guards and stuff? But
well, I'm going to meet people of relevance and importance.
Yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily be wandering around.
Wandering the streets, the high streets.
No, no. I wouldn't be one of these people who goes out anonymously to find out what the people's lives are really like. That. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't want to know what they think of it.
No,
they're beneath you. I have to ask about this religion. Is this just a Sirism, like religion?
It's a religion confected in order to justify the existence of a single ruler.
So they worship you.
Any church, really, institutional church. Yeah.
Okay, so how you're dealing with this scandal, just so I have it clear, is that you're just inserting the high lace boots into the religion you've already set up.
Yes.
And anyone who's reporting on it, they're shut down and disappear.
They're not operating anymore.
They're not, and I say Google, like the internet, which of course is everywhere in the world.
But I mean, as if the Chinese can create a virtual wall, we can certainly.
You'll do that as well.
I mean, we only have half a dozen fiber optic cables coming in, so there's not a problem.
There's not a problem with that. Absolutely. Okay, so that's how you handle that scandal. That percentage rate will go up.
Yeah.
That religion. I mean, are you the deity that they worship? Just
Well, I know I'm not the deity. I'm more the earthly manifestation.
the
The
Jesus.
earthly manifestation of the structure that the religion has. Really, that religion is a pyramidal type structure with
You're at the
God at
top.
their top, and the earthly version of this is me at the top.
Okay. Okay. Right.
They're a
Great. Yeah.
reflection of each other.
Yes. You have handled that scandal with ease, naturally.
Yeah.
I have to ask, just I suppose, ensure that scandal is far gone out of people's memories. The biggest news station in the country wants to create a documentary about you. Now, naturally, it's going to be pro, sir. No?
No.
Just about the mystique of sir?
No. Again, the learning here, and we have to look at the British royal family as a model. Like
There's documentaries about him.
going on document. I mean, Andrew is the perfect example of opening his mouth and putting both feet in it. No,
Right.
you can't take these risks. There is nothing to be gained. You've already said when you're ahead in a game,
Right.
you keep the ball and you don't play, right?
But-
you hide in the corner. That's what you do. That's what
Okay,
good
you
defensive
hide away
players
from
do.
people.
You certainly don't bring to the fore any possible controversies, right? Like if you're already winning,
Yeah.
4-0 up with 10 minutes to go, you
You'll go
lock
for the
down
fifth.
the defense. No. You lock down the
You're hammering
defense.
him.
Yes, well, that's fine, but you're that far up. Don't take any risks, right? So
Right.
that's the way. That's a small C and a capital C. Small C conservative approach there.
Okay, so you don't want a pro sir propaganda movie made about you.
because you get like there is an equal and opposite tendency in all things. So if you have a very sycophantic documentary, it almost inevitably will cause people to go, "Wow, look, that's not quite true," or "That's not what my experience is." Whereas you're better off just feeding them reruns of Friends and
Reruns of Friends.
reruns of Friends. That's it, really. And the other one is that silly program,
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Those
Really? Was that it?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Well, you see, there's a large supply of both.
That's true.
the great
Endless
thing is
supply.
You can keep rotating through there. And by the time you've seen episode 763 or whatever it is of the Big Bang Theory, you've forgotten what episode 1 is. So you go back and watch it.
Mrs. Brown's Boys, do you want that in there?
No.
Okay. No, we won't have that in there.
No,
Okay.
we can't have Mrs. Brown's Boys because we live near Ireland and we don't want any cultural imperialism from Ireland, however inadequate or poorly constructed that imperialism is.
Are your people allowed to travel abroad?
Yes. Particularly to play tennis.
Okay. There is a knock on your door. Don't worry, it's not any of the riffraff. Okay. There's a knock on your door. Knock, knock, knock. Knock,
Yeah.
knock, knock. Do you just,
Yeah.
It sounded like you were Dracula. What
Yes.
do you open the door? No.
I wouldn't be opening the door. No, I have staff.
You have staff. Okay, the staff opens the door and they see that it's Paul, your finance person, okay?
Yeah, well, he would have an appointment. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, I'm here on time. My appointment was scheduled.
Go on.
I didn't forget about it.
Yes, go on.
I have great news. I just wanted to let you know great news. I was checking the numbers on the balance sheet, and I see that we are in surplus by 5 billion euros or whatever. Are we part of the European Union?
You go on, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I just want to ask you, look, the citizenry, the Senate, have been asking, or they've been kind of demanding that we build a world wonder or something impressive to celebrate Sir, the mythical Sir. They're not very creative, though. They'd like to ask you what world wonder or what statue or what building or whatever you'd like built in your honor.
It's interesting. I think possibly something enjoyable that people could access and be involved with.
Every person, not just the rich.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the bread and circuses model again. I think a very, very large roller coaster, which would be part of a large park, would be
Yes.
something, because that people could enjoy and access. That something like the world's largest and possibly fastest roller coaster.
The largest roller coaster in the world. I found the tallest steel roller coaster, which I'm going to assume is Six Flags. I will not be able to pronounce this. Qiddiya in Saudi Arabia. It is 639 feet tall.
Yes.
Do you want that to?
Well, I would be tempted to go with the largest wooden one, because that's much more traditional and inherently more exciting. I think you can build anything in steel, whereas building it in wood you can pretend that there's an environmental element to it. Now, there clearly isn't, because it's pointless and no real reason for it.
No.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the wooden one, because the largest wooden roller coaster in the world, because there's so much more. You're more likely to get people to travel to visit a wooden roller coaster. And also, who wants to go to Saudi Arabia unless you're a prominent comedian looking for a lot of money?
Or a bit of scratch, as I say. Yeah. I have the rankings for the tallest wooden roller coaster in the world. The funny thing is, there's a tie. Like, there's two in first place. There is one at Everland in South Korea, and there's one in Kolmården Wildlife Park in Sweden. They are both 183.8 feet tall. So do you want to smash through 200 feet?
Yes, subject to engineering constraints. Yes,
they'll manage it.
200 feet. Is it 200 feet or 200 meters?
Feet. The 183.8 feet is the tallest so far. 56 meters.
Yeah, so we go with 60 meters. Yes.
60 meters, and that's going to be part of. I mean,
a park, a general. Park.
Yeah. It's not just one roller coaster.
Something like that. Yeah. I think that it'll bring in tourism. It's something for people to enjoy, and it's positive. Yes, and it's something extra for people.
People would like to call it the super impressive roller coaster, or SIR as an acronym. Is that okay?
I think that's very accurate and appropriate.
Thank you. Paul is going to run away to get that done, right? Start that. He's very excited. Thank you very much, sir. In the meantime, I have to ask you, I'm not sure, do you let people know when your birthday is, but the Senate realised they should have a celebration for SIR on some day. Do you want them to find out what?
I think we'll have a notional birthday, not the real one. We'll have an official birthday. The British royal family do really demonstrate a lot of this. There is an official queen. There was a official queen's birthday, which was not the date of her birth. I don't know why they picked whatever date it was. So I'm minded to pick the longest day of the year, the 22nd of June.
What, is there a reason why you want it on the longest day?
Just because there's more time on that day for people to celebrate my existence.
And how, that's what I was going to ask, how do they celebrate? Do you want a parade? Stuff like that?
I think I like the idea of a celebration, but everybody would wear the colour teal on my birthday.
Like teal.
Teal
Teal your colour.
Teal, yeah. But it's a distinctive colour. It would only be legal to wear it on my birthday. It's another random rule. Okay. So you can wear teal on my birthday. And from morning till night.
Why is that ruling?
Again, for no other reason than to show my power.
Right, you need consistent little shows of power. Okay.
Yeah, small and consistent shows of power are the easiest way to maintain a certain level of discipline.
Do you want?
I'm always reminded of the story about the elephants. Right, elephants when they're very young, they chain their feet with one foot with an incredibly strong chain that they can't break. Right, they're not able to break.
Why do the elephants do that to themselves?
No, the elephant people do this in order to control the elephant. Right?
Oh, sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, after a certain amount of time, the elephant just gives up. And at that
And
stage,
dies.
no, gives up trying to pull the chain out of the ground.
I'm with you.
Right?
Yeah.
And after that, you can use an extremely light rope to harness the elephant. You don't have to use a heavy rope anymore.
Right.
And that's how I would see the development of my control of the people. You control the people.
Yeah.
Control the people, and then at a certain point, they are under control, and they don't think of the possibility. At that stage, an adult elephant could easily break this rope.
Yeah.
But of course, they've given up on trying.
They've given up on trying. You're very much a case of breaking the will of the people, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to state, I know we're near the end of the podcast, I want to state, in this fictional country, on this improv comedy podcast, you can make all the decisions. So you could have decided that your people were just well-adjusted, happy people who didn't need constant breaking of their will. You could have decided that.
Could.
It's up to you.
But that one has to be realistic. That's unlikely to be a real scenario. A whole society full of well-adjusted people has never occurred. So why would it occur now?
Okay.
I'm not going to go to the point of genetically engineering people.
Do you want that?
No.
But if you had the option.
No. Diversity is key to anything being successful, because it has to be. Even in a good dictatorship, you have to have diversity.
That's good. Right? That's a nice message.
Yeah, but it's just true.
It's nice though. It's positive in this day and age. So we're going to have your day celebrated on the longest day of the year, and they can wear teal. Are they allowed parades?
No,
they allowed
have to wear teal.
They have to.
Sorry, it's compulsory and only on that day.
Okay, and you're a fan of teal now. It's not a case like tennis.
No, I'm picked teal because it's a slightly unusual color. You don't see very much of it. It's quite an attractive color. Right?
Yeah. I was going to ask, do you want it on the national flag, or what national flag do you want?
Now, the national flag, I'm trying to think. I suppose we are maintaining the notion of a democracy of some sort. Democracy traditionally
to who? The outsiders? Outside the
world
UN?
At large,
right.
Yeah. I think actually, a flag would be a horizontal white and a horizontal teal stripe, right?
Yeah.
With that 50-50 on the flag, right? That'd be horizontal.
Like San Marino.
With the is that? I have no idea. It's teal at the bottom and white at the top. Right?
So that might be, yeah.
I don't know if anyone has teal on their flag.
No, I don't think so. I'm thinking, no. I mean,
I'm sure there's loads of people with blue. Blue is common.
Naturally,
the actual teal is a slightly different shade. Anyway.
Okay, so you love that. That's great. People will be delighted because they, again, have 100% approval rating somehow, because their wills have been broken. There is a knock on your door again. Your staff are going to open the door, though. Knock, knock, knock. Paul is going to come in and say, hello there, sir.
Yes, hello.
Paul. It's Paul. Hi. You don't sound happy to see Paul. Are you okay, Paul?
Paul, I find the very notion of money just irksome. Having none myself officially, I find other people's obsession with it tedious.
It just keeps the country going. He doesn't.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Paul, just let you know, I just wanted to come in with quick news about the whole finances and the big roller coaster, the Sir roller coaster. I also want to be quick because I have to hop on my plane. I'm going to play in the US Open.
Good, go on.
Thank you. I just let you know that Sir has been built. The whole park has been built. It looked wonderful. It cost $2 billion to make, but we'll make money back. It'll be fine, right?
Well, we had a $5 billion budget.
Well, that's the thing. You see, I had a quick look at the laptop again. It turns out there was a little minus sign in front of it. So we actually had minus $5 billion. Now, the International Monetary Fund is emailing me asking me, do we have any ways to make money? Because we're absolutely broke. The country has nothing. Anyway, Paul better get on his plane for the US Open.
Well, I have a solution, of course.
Yes. Oh, well, he better go. So Paul is going to leave. Okay?
Paul, you stay. You'll be part of the solution.
He's just going to walk out now.
Paul, you stay where you are, Paul. You're part of the solution. Clearly, we are going to solve this problem by selling kidneys. Right? kidneys, human kidneys. We're going to harvest human kidneys and sell
Okay,
them
I'll get
on
the kids and we'll
international
take their knees.
No, kidneys.
Right. Okay.
Kidneys.
Oh,
Not,
kidneys. Okay.
not
Yeah.
children's knees, kidneys.
I get you. Okay.
Everybody has two, they only need one.
They do.
Right. So we're going to set up a hospital where people who have kidney problems can come and have their kidneys replaced.
Right.
And you, Paul, will
Yeah.
be the first kidney donor on this regime since you fucked up monumentally.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. No, hold on a minute.
Yes, you did. You missed the minus sign, Paul.
It's a very small minus sign. Have you ever seen Google Sheets? Very small.
No,
very small.
It's still a minus sign, Paul.
That's why pencils
this is
have
not
rubbers.
the sort of thing I accept or expect from my minions, right?
I will
You've
also
been a privileged minion, so
that's true.
You will
very
be
true.
paying a price for this.
Now,
right?
I do want to suggest as well, though, that maybe I shouldn't do it now because the US Open is on, and I'm actually the world number one. You know, I'm going there to win. I can't really win with one kidney.
I'm very, very clear that we must demonstrate to the public at large the importance of competence. And just because you're the world number one is probably a very good reason to ensure that we do exactly what I've just said.
Okay, and speaking as the host, I just want to get this right here. I'm not necessarily Paul saying this, that your citizens do whatever you tell them to do anyway. Like, your wills have been broken. You don't need to show them competence. You're making these laws about teal and shoes. You can just be like, you're all doing it. The rich people don't have to. So why?
The rich have to as well.
But why do you have to make sure Paul does it first?
Because he's screwed up and it needs to be demonstrated.
Right, but it has nothing to do with the citizens then.
Well, public will know.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't make a difference whether to them.
Yeah,
it's mostly the real reason is you just want to punish Paul.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're not going to tell Paul that.
Well, I might as well tell him.
Okay, so I will be Paul again. Can I not go and I'll do the kidney? I don't mind doing that. I love my country, red-blooded bloody island, but I have to go for the tournament, you know?
I shall consider it.
Okay, can you consider it in the next 2 minutes because the plane is going to leave?
You're not taking your family with you, sure you're not, Paul?
But I was going to bring my coach, my husband. But
yeah, coach is fine.
Okay, the husband is fine coming with me, but the kids are staying there.
Yeah.
All right.
Kids are staying. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Grand.
Okay,
right. Fine. I'll be back in 3 weeks.
Excellent.
Right. But so Paul and the husband are leaving. The adopted two kids are staying. What's your plan with them? I don't like where you're going with that.
I just like make sure Paul and his partner are coming back.
Honestly, I think they're not coming back. Chris, they're not coming back. They didn't like those kids enough. They were adopted. They were forced on them. The kids are too pro, sir. But okay, yay, Paul survived. I did not think Paul would get out of there.
Yeah.
You're not going to track him down, are you? You don't have money to pay people. You can't be flying people around.
Oh, well, I couldn't possibly comment on that at this stage.
Okay,
we'll have to review that.
I have a question now. How are you going to make more money? You don't need to suddenly solve an 8 billion deficit or 7 billion deficit, but how are you going to generate more income now in general?
Well, I mean,
the kidneys.
The kidneys, yes, the kidney sale. We're going to be selling kidneys on the open market. And there's a pretty substantial ongoing demand for kidneys.
I wonder, how much is your kidney worth?
I think in the installed in the United States, it's about $250,000.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Jesus. When I Googled it, the first sentence I saw was, "It's not an open market."
I know it's not an open market,
but no, we're going with that. Yeah.
People. There are parts of the world where people on a regular basis sell their kidneys.
For a quarter of Jesus.
No, they don't sell for $250,000. There is a lot of money made in the intermediate market. I think it's where is it? It's some part of Russia. A poor part of Russia. They're one of the larger businesses is installing kidneys.
Okay.
Also involving removing kidneys. There's a couple of countries where it's common enough.
And you're
It's
going to
not
make...
exactly unduly medically ethical. Well, you
No,
see, I
no.
have a good stock of healthy tennis-playing kidneys.
Oh, they're very healthy people, yeah.
So, and they're adjacent to large markets in the United States and Europe.
So you
lots
are
of
going
people.
to grab your tendon. Are you giving your kidney over to the country?
Oh gosh, no.
No, you wouldn't do that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's going to bring in a lot of money. Paul and his husband are never coming back. I can tell you that right now.
We'll see.
You can do whatever you want to those adopted children of theirs. They didn't like him. I have a question. I have a final question for you. Sir, at some point in time, you have to figure out who's your successor. Okay? Who's going to run the island after you? Now, because you are mortal, you have a kind of limit on this question compared to the others. You have to pick someone who is a real life person. You can't make up a fictional character at now. You can choose Paul or his husband, but you have to pick a real person other than that. And you don't have to worry about ages. If you wanted to pick Michael D. Higgins, that's fine. You don't have to worry about the age factor. But who would be your successor?
You want someone to take over.
Yeah, if you want to retire or just when you pass away, who's going to take over?
Interesting. I mean, I want my subjects to be reasonably well treated. Not too well treated.
Better than how you treat them?
About a par.
Okay.
I suppose I could always go with Tom Cruise.
You'd reckon he would treat people well? The country
well? I think, I suppose the only one drawback is I would be handing over the country to the Scientologists. So let's not go with that one. What's the woman who owns Goop? What's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, no, maybe not. Yeah. Who else would I go with?
Nobody Irish. You're not keen on the Irish ruling.
Well, I know. Trying to think of who would be an interesting, colourful character. I suppose it's always Tommy Tiernan.
Yeah.
But yeah, although not really. Not sure now. Anyone could really live up to my standards.
No.
I suppose, yeah. Hector O'Honigan. I can never say that man's name.
That could be a problem if he's trying to rule a country.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
You can't say his name.
Dylan Moran?
No. And again, also not Graham Linehan for obvious reasons.
Maybe not. No.
Other people not on the list. Any of the Burke family from Mayo, and also not contenders. Who else would there be now that would be interesting and different? I'm trying to think. Maybe, yeah, Nicola Sturgeon.
I say Nicolas Cage.
No, Nicola Sturgeon.
Nicola Sturgeon.
She did quite a good job running Scotland when she was there, and she'd probably do a reason. Nicola Sturgeon would be as good or better than most. Some experience of leadership.
Yeah.
Nationalistic without being fascistic. Yeah, Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola Sturgeon.
Is that when you're in your dying days you hand over? Like you're gone. You're not hanging about. Like you're not giving up power before you have to.
No.
Okay.
Nicola Sturgeon, I think. Yeah, but Nicola Sturgeon would be a good and reasonable person to run a regime, having done so already. That's what you want, really. Someone with experience.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And she wouldn't have to travel far, and she'd be familiar with the weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Local in a way. I have to thank you, Chris, for showing me what Sir of Red Bloody Island would look like. I will ask you again. Can you tell people about the podcast you co-host and how often is it out and where is it out?
Well, we appear once a week, by and large. It's called Telling Tinder Tales. It's on all good and bad podcast platforms, as most of them. And it's also a live show. The next live show is February at the Leicester Comedy Festival. It's
nice.
in March at Glasgow. It'll be in Derby in June. I think that's it. And then it's at Edinburgh. I'm not sure where it's going to be at
Back to Edinburgh then, at the Fringe.
And the Fringe. And it'll be there. And then it'll be in, I think it's in Nottingham in November. So that's how far ahead I plan these things. And it's also, if you're Irish, it's currently scheduled to be on Tyne on the 25th of April, if that's a Saturday.
Of April?
October 5th of April. On Tyne in a small room there, a live show. So, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Okay. First of all, thank you to everyone who's listening. And also, I have a final question for Sir of Red Bloody Island. In maybe your last final words of wisdom, what would you tell the people if they don't go to your live shows or listen to your podcast or listen to this podcast? What's the punishment for them?
They continue to live their normal lives.
You could have picked. You could have had a utopia, and I would have went along with it just as diligently as this.
They just live their normal, dull lives
with no hope of changing.
Yeah,
Light Entertainment Podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
Good luck. See you. Bye bye.
This podcast is part of Podomedy, the UK's podcast comedy network. Why not laugh at what else we've got? Visit podomedy.com.